What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to P&Q, the question and answer series where you get to ask me questions or put comments to me and then I respond to you the following week. Now you can do this one of four ways. You can pop your comments or questions down below there in the comments section, and you can do this on any episode of P&Q. So if you want to watch like back episodes, that's fine. I'll still get the question and I'll still answer it when I get it on the latest episode. So if you want to do that, that's fine. So they're not redundant once they're done. Anyway, so you can pop your comments or questions down below, or if you want an anonymous response, you can email me directly at miniwarzone@gmail.com. There'll be a link in the video description below, or you can make a video question. I call them video questions because you're asking a question on your video, so video questions. Now some people do this as a regular basis, some people just do it now and again, and that kind of thing. So if you make a video or a video series or whatever, where you ask a question like to everybody, I'll pick that up, if I pick that up, and then I'll answer that here as well. Or if you meet me in person and you ask me a question there and it's a cool one or a comment or a good topic that we can talk about, then I'll respond to that here also. Now this week I have obviously my video, my comments that were left on the video from last week as usual, but I also have only one video question and one email. So it's a little shorter this week, a little thin on the ground. The questions, that's okay. A lot of stuff happening in lots of people's lives right now, and that's fine. But these are continuing. So even if I only had one question, I'd still do P&Q. I would. It's probably my favourite series, you see, because getting questions from you, then I respond. I don't know, I feel like I'm getting to know you guys better, and I enjoy answering the questions. Sometimes it reveals traits of my own personality which I never knew existed, so that can always be interesting. Anyway, let's start with my one and only video question that I picked up this week, or last week for you guys, and it's from Black Country Wargamer on the Ask the Audience series, and the question is, what type of stores do you prefer, i.e. dedicated ones such as Games Workshop, or general ones who stock all types of games, etc.? That's an interesting question. It's certainly an interesting question, for me especially, as I have both types literally smack bang next door to each other in my local high street. Got a Games Workshop, and then right next to it is the general gaming store. It never used to be that way, and at first I thought it was insane to do it, but it kind of makes sense because keep all the nerdiness in one area, I suppose. But what do I prefer? Well, me personally, depends what I'm looking for, really. Both. Oh, for me personally, there's not a lot of difference. It literally just depends on what I'm looking for. Because for me personally, they're not places I go to hang out, as it were. So I literally, if I'm going in, I'm either browsing or in there to purchase a specific item, usually paint or brush or something. So yeah, so it's tricky. Both types of store, at least where I live, both types of store have the same kind of feel to them. You go in both types. See, in the Games Workshop it's a typical Games Workshop store. Typical layout with tables and so on. People go in and they got the painted area and all that kind of stuff. And you go in, you see the same faces usually there. But then, if you go into the next door, which is the general gaming store or a hobby store, downstairs you've got like scale modelling and model railways, that kind of thing, and upstairs you've got like the other games. You got the Games Workshop. You got like Flames of War. You've got role-playing games, board games, Zombicide, all that kind of stuff. Magic the Gathering, all that kind of thing, and a little area at the back with some gaming tables. But even in there, you see the same faces. So there's really not a lot of difference for me personally. At all, really. I always tend to go in both if I'm in my town centre. I just, like to see what's around, I suppose. But I will see the same faces in both stores. So it's like I say, it really depends. If I'm after something Games Workshop related, then I'll likely favour the Games Workshop store. If I'm after something else, non-GW related, then obviously I will go into the other one. But yeah, it's a great question though, and it would be interesting to see other people's answers on that one. Depending on area, does it differ depending on area? It certainly sounds like you've got a good one that's just opened up near you, so that's kind of cool. It's good to hear. Yeah, I think there's not enough of them, to be honest. I wish there were more, obviously, but I'm sure when I go to different places, I'm sure there are some where even more. I think there are none because I don't know the area, so I should really look it up more. Okay, moving on to my one and only email. I haven't had an email for a while, so it's kind of refreshing. It says, "Hi mate, I was wondering if you have ever read any Horus Heresy novels, and if so, do you have a favourite one / author?" I've read some. I've read about 13 or 14 of the novels, from the beginning. My favourite ones so far, without a shadow of a doubt, was The First Heretic, by Aaron somebody. Funny name, Aaron Dembski Bowden or something like that. I may be wrong. I'm probably not remembering it right, but yeah, that's my favourite one. And I believe that was the first one I've come across that was written by him. So, is he my favourite author? Hard to say, really. Hard to say, because authors can write good and bad novels. My worst novel by far was Nemesis by James Swallow, but then he wrote, was it Flight of the Eisenstein? And that was quite a good book, I thought. I think it was about the third one in. But Nemesis, just too many characters and weird sounding names for me. Yeah. So yes, so for me it would be The First Heretic by Aaron, whatever he's called, Aaron Dembski Bowden, I think he's called. But yeah, that was a good one. Good question. Thank you for your email. Feel free to email again. Right, so that's that done. So we're moving on to the comments that were left on the video from last week now. I'm starting with Idic Beer 40k. He's at the top of the list there. Says, "Nice vid, Pete. A green wall sounds like a good idea. I'm interested to know if you back up your videos or do you rely on YouTube keeping them safe?" Well, first of all, yeah, a green wall behind me would make perfect sense, wouldn't it? Then I wouldn't have to set up my green cloth screen on the tripods and everything. That's a pain. That's a royal pain. Whereas I could just sit here, obviously without the stuff on the walls. I could just sit here, click record, and off I go. And the window is right in front of me, natural light, and that worked quite well, even with the cloth background. So I'm thinking that would probably be, it would make sense to have it as this wall, as the green screen wall. So maybe a possibility in the future if I can ever afford another pot of paint. They're expensive. But yeah, now I'm interested to know if you back up your videos or do you rely on YouTube keeping them safe? I totally rely on YouTube keeping them safe. I don't waste space backing up videos, and I've got the odd 1 or 2 videos that I've kept that I show to other people that are on YouTube, and that's true. That's mostly family members and things like that who are interested in what's been going on. I'm literally talking a handful of videos there, but for the most part, the 99.9% of my videos I do not back up, and I wouldn't ever either. If I lost it all, I'll just start again. I'm not that bothered. It's just YouTube. It's not my life. I enjoy doing it, don't get me wrong, but it's just a hobby and it's just my life. It's not my life, and I'll just move on and start again. Possibly on YouTube again, possibly on some other format. I don't know. Maybe I'd go into, I don't know, more of a photo based social media instead. I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure about that. I probably would still keep a YouTube channel. Yes, I would, because I enjoy the interaction with people, especially hangouts and things like that. That's good fun. I do enjoy that. But no, I suppose the bigger your channel gets, the more of a worry it would become for someone, especially yourself. You're on like 10,000 subscribers or something crazy now. For me, I'm on my small subscriber count. I'd start again. Yeah, it's not a problem. Not a problem. I'll just keep on trucking, as they say. Good question. Thank you very much. All right, another sip of coffee. Okay. So next question. Obviously, if I'm doing green screen, I wouldn't be using this yellow paper, because yellow, your background image that you're green screening sometimes bleeds through things like yellow and very pale lime greens and things like that. Because I've found you've got to be quite careful with that. Okay, next question comes from Dillygaff Gossett. Says, what are some of the games or games you could throw your hands up and walk away from? What game or games do you play that you wish there was more interest in? Well, I threw my hands up and walked away from Bolt Action. I did that. I got a few reasons for that. I'd started collecting it, in the traditional manner, through Warlord, the 28mm figures, and it was I could see it rapidly competing for space with my Warhammer stuff, and that's not going anywhere. So made a choice, due to space limitations mainly, but made a choice to ditch it. Not ditch it, but I sold off all my stuff, terrain, everything. I kept 1 or 2 pieces for, I don't know, just for the heck of it, I suppose, really. I can't. I was starting to spend more time and money on it than I wanted to. I don't know. It's a strange one. I felt like I was having to do Bolt Action stuff, and whilst it was okay, it wasn't my be all and end all game. The one that gave me the most pleasure doing stuff for was Warhammer, and so I stuck with that. The other games are so small. Games like Ronin, for example, are so small that they don't really take up much room or space, or they don't take up space, and the financial side is pittance compared to like the GW stuff. So it's not a problem. Do I regret it? No, I don't think I do. I've never thought, I wish I hadn't have done that. I'm pleased I did it. I didn't want to get it. I am interested in it. I'm interested in the Second World War stuff, the wargaming and so on. And this is going to sound like totally weird. I'm interested in it, but I'm glad I got rid of it. So how does that work? Probably. I mean, although you can wargame bolt action in like 15mm. I know that, or 6mm, I suppose. Well, 15 would probably work better. I'd probably go down the route of something like Flames of War instead. Not that I'm planning on doing that, but the fact that it's geared around a 15mm scale would probably suit my needs better for that. A bit like Black Powder, I suppose. I've got the rule book and literally about 6 or 8 little 15mm guys that I painted up for it just to see what it was like. That would require quite a bit too. And Hail Caesar, I've got the rules for that too. I've got a load of rule sets, but we're talking games here where I've got the rules and models and have invested into the game. Is there any game I would walk away from? I don't think so. No, like I say, I did the bolt action thing. And although I don't regret it, I probably wouldn't do that again. Walk away from a game like that. A friend of mine, Ralph Fastley, you may know of him and his channel. He said to me, you could have just kept the stuff and just, always keep what you've got, put it away. You never know, it'll, come back into your general interest, in terms of popularity, You never know when you might need something, and he's absolutely right on that score. Absolutely right. But then thinking about it, I mean, bolt action went through a revision, didn't it? Fairly recently in relative terms. So, I'm pleased I got rid of it because I had a load of books for it, rule books and campaign books and expansions and or whatever it was, additions and so on. So, I'm not that worried about it. So let's move on to what games do I play I wish there was more interest in. That's an easier one to answer. Batman. I wish there was more interest in the Batman game because I think it's a fantastic game. Great set of game mechanics. Love the way it plays. It just looks super cool. I love that gothic feel. Small table. Again, you can do it on a 4x4. And I just love it. But I don't know anyone else around that plays it. Sad. But there you go. So that's just one of those things. But thank you for your question, Dillygaff Gossett. So on to my last page, because there's only 2 pages today. Because like I said, it's a bit thin on the ground. And we're going on to Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak. He says, another cool P&Q. First, I truly enjoy this format and your on the bench vids. Thank you. That means a lot to me, and I'll say for why momentarily. Ooh, the rain is coming. Sorry, I've been interrupted by the sound of rain. It was sunny when I came out here. I had short sleeves. Oh dear. Seems like I'm trapped in my studio. What a shame. Ah well. Anyway. Says, how do you display your finished or painted miniatures? Do you have a display case or do you simply box them up? Take it easy and have a great week. Whack! I use those, they're packed away for the most part. I wish, if I had the space, they would all be on display, absolutely. And I'd either take time out or get someone to make sure they're all like dust free and so on and so forth. But those rainbow coloured filing cabinet things I've got, I store them in that mostly. Any model that's too big for those, they go on the separate shelves, of which I've got to remove a lot of the books from the old Warhammer stuff, and that's going to go into like a more of an archive back at the house, so then I can store like the more relative stuff and new stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be GW, whatever news coming out. I can store more book and book type esque things that are tall and thin and narrow. Oh, that rain. Right, going back to the on the bench vids. I love doing on the bench with Pete. Absolutely love it. It's it's up there with these P&Qs in terms of how much I enjoy doing them. P&Q and On the Bench are my two favourite series to do for my channel by far. Absolute favourite. I mean, I love doing all the videos, don't get me wrong, but they give me more of a sense of fulfillment when I do them. The On the Bench vids are just, God, sorry about that, the rain. I can't stop the rain. But the On the Bench vids are, God. So I'm being distracted by the rain here. But the pluses for the On the Bench are, I get to do an awesome, in my eyes, video. I think they're awesome. Yeah. I think all my videos are awesome. I think everybody's videos are awesome. Making videos are awesome. So I get to make an awesome video. It's awesome for lots of reasons, because I like making the video. It makes me feel good. It takes my mind off of any problems I've got. Secondly, it gets work done. How awesome is that? So I can be doing hobby and stuff for my channel at the same time, although it's kind of related. So, I used to have a shelf of shame before I started doing On the Bench videos, and it was getting bigger and bigger and getting more and more out of hand. I could even remember Mrs. Mini Warzone looking at it once, back when I was in like the spare room kind of thing with the hobby. That was my painting area. God, can you hear that? It's like a hurricane out there. Wow. Gee. Anyway, yeah, so back as I was in the spare room, she looked at my shelf and said, "That's growing, isn't it?" That looks like it's multiplying there. You've got all these model kits and things, and just seem to be getting more and more and more. And I looked at that and I thought, yeah, you're right, it is. And there wasn't a lot of paint along, build along videos on YouTube. I mean, there was some, but nowhere near enough to satiate my need. I mean, I still love paint along, build along videos. They are my absolute favourite thing to have on in the background whilst I'm painting. But there was never enough, so I thought, oh well, I'll just have to make my own, do my own. So that's what I did. The rest, as they say, is history. Thank you for your question. Good fun to answer, even though the rain was hammering down outside. I'm sorry if it's interrupting with the sound. I'll try and amplify my voice if it does, and dull the background, I'll do my best. Moving on to Super Wargamer. It says, what future would you rather? Statecraft 2 or 40k? And what race would you like to be? I don't know. You may mean StarCraft. I've heard of StarCraft, but I haven't heard of Statecraft. But it could mean that, because I don't know, because StarCraft is a video game, isn't it? So I'm afraid I don't know much about it. What future would you rather? So I'll assume, I think you mean StarCraft 2. If you don't, then I'm sorry. But what future would I rather, StarCraft 2 or 40k? As I don't know StarCraft 2, I'll go for that one. Because too often people stick with the devil they know. And I think that's boring. I don't know the game, I don't know the background, but heck, why not? What I do know of 40k is it's a grim, dark future. And I'm sure that the other one is as well. But it'll be new and I won't know what the deal is. So yeah, I'll go for that one. Adventure, right? What race would I like to be? Well, I can't speak for StarCraft 2. I don't know. So I'll say humans, if there's humans in it. Yeah, for both I would be humans. Thank you for your question. But yes, go for the unknown. And my last question comes from Drake's War Channel. He says, I can really appreciate how smooth your productions are when I try to imitate them, Pete. Great answers once again. Well, thank you for the compliment. It means a lot. It really does. My question this time. If you were to find yourself lost inside the Misty Mountains and you had the forethought to supply yourself with one modern weapon, what would you choose? Ooh. I'll probably go for something really simple, like a grenade. Just a grenade. And I'll just keep hold of it until I absolutely needed it. Yeah, a grenade. Hand grenade. Yeah. Pull the pin, off I go. Because to be honest, going into the Misty Mountains, I'd probably just stick with a crossbow and a sword. I don't know, it just feels more like I should do. That's what I would want, because they don't run, well, crossbows run out of ammo, but you know, you can probably pull them out the dead bodies again and reuse them, like Daryl does on Walking Dead. Yeah, and the sword, obviously, all we've got to do is keep it sharpened. So yeah, that's what I'd go for. But modern weapon, grenade, I think, because you know, I could fit it in my pocket or backpack or something. If I'm allowed more than one, I'll take more than one. You know, because if I come up against anything, because it'll create an explosion. Not enough to like bring the whole mountain down on me, but enough to help me get away from whatever's threatening me. Maybe kill whatever it is if it's a small threat. But yeah, so that's what I go for: grenade or grenades. Thank you very much. That's all the questions. Please keep those questions coming, because I can't do as in-depth an episode without them. And like I say, I will, even if I've only got one question, I'll still do B&Q. But I really appreciate those questions coming in. And if you like my video, please hit the like button. That makes a huge difference. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Check out my Patreon page. The link is in the video description below and on my homepage. And hit the bell if you want further notifications of all the episodes of videos that I put out, because I do put out quite a few videos. And yeah, so keep it coming, guys. But until the next time, just remember, all brushes lead to war. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.